Hi, welcome to another class in Boundless. Today we'll be working on movements that will help to limber up the spine. So let's go ahead, lay down, and get comfortable. First, just stretch out onto your back. And if it's comfortable for your lower back, stretch your legs out. If you find that it's not comfortable to have your legs stretched out, you can always bring your feet back onto the mat, letting your knees bend and allowing your lower back to flatten. For those that find that stretching the legs out are not a problem, we'll go ahead and do that now. And as we lay here, just as much as your body that is against the floor, take a moment to notice, compare left side to right side, center of the body, to see what parts of the body are fully in contact with the floor and what parts or areas where you detect that there is a little gap or a space between your body and the floor. And maybe notice if there's any differences. Can you detect if, for example, maybe one shoulder blade is slightly more off the floor than the other, or one hip is slightly more settled than the other side. Or maybe they're even, or maybe you are not quite sure. Just noticing for the moment is important. Later, we'll be stretching out again to be able to make any comparisons to see if some of the movements that we do today create a nice change of allowing your back to be more relaxed and open and settled. But for now, take a deep breath. Scan your body from head, along the back of your neck, the back of your shoulders and your shoulder blades, the length of your spine, the back of your hips, the length of the back of your legs all the way to the knee, along the calves and ankles and feet, along the shoulders, elbows, forearms, wrists, and hands. Allow for everything to settle, melt, and sink into the floor. Then take a nice deep breath. And a nice exhale, release. Slowly bring your feet to the mat. Have them just a comfortable distance apart. Settle your hips, settle your lower back. And as always in a Boundless class, any of the movements that I ask you to do, I invite you to do them in a manner that is gentle and smooth and steady, with the idea that every movement will bring about a sense of nourishment to your body. And we're going to start out very gentle, very small, in moving our pelvis a little, rocking side to side. So try to, as best as possible, keep your legs and your knees still and facing the ceiling, and place both hands on either side of your hip. And very gently just feel your hip rock side to side, left and right, against the floor. And we're looking for a very tiny, very small movement, because we're just gradually waking up and limbering the spine. So it's not the idea of stretching or seeing how far we can go. But at this point, just gentle, almost a little swaying rock side to side. And as you go side to side, we can feel one side of the hip settle while the other one rises. And with your hands placed there, you can also feel that your hands, one sinks and one rises along with the hips. But can you also detect where your pelvis rolls incrementally into the floor? So all those parts in the middle, as you go side to side, settles gradually, gradually, gradually into the floor as you travel through to one side, and then gradually settling and settling through to the other side. Again, very gentle. And notice changes in your spine, your belly. And then let that come to center and settle. Settle any other part of the spine or shoulders or neck that now maybe could sink a little more to the floor. And then take one hand and place it on the lower belly below your navel, and the other hand along your belly above the navel. Our pelvis can rock side to side, and it can also tip down and back up again. And so that's the next action that we're going to do, is begin to gently have the feeling that your tailbone can roll closer and closer to the floor, and your pelvis tilts downward. And it causes just a little bit of space rising in your lower back away from the floor. And then reverse that tilt so that you feel your tailbone begin to roll back again in the direction upward towards the ceiling. And as you do this, you'll feel your hands reflect this motion. So the lower hand will sink down and away from your belly. And then as it rolls and the tailbone comes back up towards the ceiling, you'll feel as if your hands kind of begin to move towards each other, and your back flattens, your belly tightens. So very smoothly, gently, steadily, allow your pelvis now to do this rocking up and down, forward and back. And again, keep it comfortable, all within the range that doesn't create any pain or unease for your back, but just gently limbering the spine. And allow your breath to be easy. And maybe the next time the tailbone tilts towards the floor and your belly rises, take a deep breath. And as the tailbone begins to transition, rolling upward towards the ceiling, allow that to be part of your exhale. One more time with our inhale, tailbone dropping towards the floor. And as it reverses, exhaling as the tailbone moves towards the ceiling. And then bring your pelvis to a neutral position, letting it settle. Let your hands move away from your body, along beside onto the floor, and take a deep breath. And even though we've just begun and done just small movements, go ahead and stretch your legs out. And we just take a moment to compare. Does the body rest differently now against the floor than when we just started? And it may be clear that there's a change, or maybe not, or we may not even feel sure if there's been a change. But we just notice and settle and take a deep breath. So now slowly bring your feet back to the mat. Let your pelvis settle again. Let your lower back settle. Feel that transition all the way up through your spine and shoulders. And so now we're going to allow a little bit more movement. But first, again, start small. Let your knees now move a little side to side, left and right. And of course, that pulls on the pelvis, and we feel our pelvis rolling against the floor. But be aware that this time we are initiating that motion with the knees and the legs swinging to the left and right. And again, if possible, just allow this to be a small, easy, comfortable movement. We're not trying to create a stretch, but more feeling the effect that this has on each little vertebra in your spine. Gentle waking up the spine, gentle loosening of the spine. And how this motion, feel what changes occur along your waist, maybe up into your ribs or chest. And can you also, even though the knees are leading the motion now, still take time to feel the whole of your pelvis rolling into the floor as it transitions towards the left or the right. Easy, settling as we move. Then bring your knees back to center. Settle the pelvis, lengthen the spine and settle. Settle your shoulders. Allow for an easy breath. And a nice exhale, release. So now, bring your arms close together and grab each elbow, and let your elbows settle onto your body. Let your arms relax, shoulders relax. Now we're just going to explore with our arms against the body, is it possible to move the ribs, the upper body, while our pelvis remains still? So explore how to accomplish that. And we may do a little press to the left, a little press of the ribs to the right. And you may notice that it's not easy to create a big movement. So we're just making a gentle, small movement, a little tiny wiggle of the ribs side to side, with as little effort or assist from the arms. And just explore that feeling for a moment. Let the head just move along with you, and make sure that you're still breathing. A little side to side yet. And then go ahead and bring the ribs settled and still. And take a deep breath. So now extend your arms, still holding on to them at your elbows. Lift your elbows towards the ceiling. And for a moment, just let the arms settle. You're still holding on to the elbows, and your shoulder blades settle into the floor. So we're going to try a few things. First now, with your elbows settled like this and your shoulder blades in the floor, just gently let your elbows glide side to side, left and right. And we're really still just allowing the shoulder blades to stay on the floor. So the movement of the arms left and right, you're mainly sensing it in the shoulder socket. Yeah, it's not a big movement. And of course the body is still. We're just moving the arms. And we just register what it feels like for the arms to be moving while the body is still, and what changes occur through your upper arm, the armpit, and chest. Then bring the arms still to the center, and for a moment let the elbows rest down back on your body. Let the arms slide away from each other onto the floor, and stretch your legs out. Allow for an easy breath, and take a moment to notice, does the body rest against the floor a little differently than when we first started? Have there been any changes to what you notice in contact with the floor? Go ahead and bring your feet again to the mat. Settle the pelvis, lengthen your spine. And once again, grab your elbows gently. And at first, just let your arms rest against your body. Settle the shoulders. And once again, just a little gentle rocking of your ribs side to side. So the upper body wants to roll a little bit. And again, you may notice that there's not a huge movement. Pelvis is stable. Arms are just riding along with the body. And then let that become still, centered. Take a deep breath. And while still holding your arms resting against your body, notice if there's any tension in the shoulders or your elbows, and let that settle back. And now just leave the rest of the body still and gently turn your head side to side. Just gently, smooth and steady, left to right, and let the head also gently fall and settle into the floor as you roll side to side. And be aware of the feeling that your body is still while the head and neck are gently in motion. And breathing. And slowly bring your head back to the center and take a deep breath. And a nice exhale, release. Keeping your hands on your elbows, raise your elbows towards the ceiling. And now we're going to let the elbows float towards the ceiling and let that pull on your shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades raise up and away from the floor. And then as your elbows and arms sink back down, allow the shoulder blades to settle back into the floor. And do this gently a few more times, the elbows with the idea that they float up to reach the ceiling, and gently pull on the arm, gently pull on the shoulder blades, and then sinking, allow the shoulder blades to sink back down. Wait for them to settle completely before you begin the floating up and away. And then notice as you transition in this floating and sinking, where is it comfortable for a deep breath? Where is it comfortable for an easy exhale? And how smooth and easy and effortlessly can the elbows float and sink and create a gentle impact on the shoulder blades. Then let them settle and let your elbows and arms come and rest back again onto your body. And for a moment, let your arms slide off the body and onto the floor. Settle your shoulders. Take a deep breath. And just as we rest here a moment, notice if there's any change that has occurred along your chest, your shoulders, your back, or your neck. Once again, grab your elbows and let them move towards the ceiling. And then just arms are resting comfortably. Shoulder blades are comfortable against the floor. And this time now, I want to have you feel that your right hand holding on to the left elbow is going to gently pull your arm across your body towards the right. And go as far as is comfortable. And then feel the reverse, that now your left hand is going to guide your right elbow across your body as it moves to the left. And do this alternating back and forth. Rather than feeling like your elbows are going side to side, one hand is gently pulling your arm across, and you go as far as is comfortable, and then the other hand gently pulls the other arm across. And then notice how much of your shoulder blade wants to be part of this motion. Settling to the floor on one side and raising away from the floor on the other side. Gentle, smooth, and easy. And then what would it feel like if your head participates? So when your arm maybe is being pulled across your body towards the right, let your head also turn to the right. And then as it transitions so that the left hand is pulling the right arm across your body to the left, your head also follows that to the left. Do that just one more time on each side and notice any change that you have in your waist, your ribs, and your spine. Smooth, steady, gentle, easy. Breathing. Slowly bring them back to the center. Lower your arms down towards your body. Let them settle onto your body. Shoulders settle. Neck settles. And then they slide off your body onto the floor next to your body. Settle the shoulders. Take a deep breath. And slowly stretch your legs out. And take a moment to notice if the body feels different from when we first started. How it feels in contact with the floor. And just settled and gently breathing. Slowly bring your feet back to the mat. And now stretch your arms out to the side, palms up. And take a moment to let your shoulders settle. Feel the difference with the arms stretched out along the chest, your armpits, the shoulder blades, your waist and ribs. And now gently turn your head side to side and see again what feels different in your body with the head turning side to side with the arms stretched out than when we had the arms crossed. And keep your breath gentle and easy. Now bring your head back to center. And now let your knees begin to move left and right, allowing it to gently pull on the pelvis, which then affects the spine, belly, and waist. And then let the knees move to the opposite side. Your head remains still, facing the ceiling. Have an awareness of the sensation of the knees and your hips moving gently side to side while the rest of the upper body remains relatively steady, stable, still. But how does this movement along the lower body feel as it moves along your waist, and maybe up into your chest or shoulders, without effort or force? And then as the knees are moving to your left, allow your head to turn to the right. And then as it transitions, knees toward your right, the head to the left. And where does it feel comfortable to allow a deep breath? And just smooth, steady, gentle and easy. Allow your knees to keep moving left and right while your head moves gently, coordinated in the opposite direction. And how does it feel in this motion of your hips and your back also rolling along, making contact with the floor? Allow this a few more times at your own pace. And then slowly bring everything back to center. Bring your arms a little closer towards your body on the floor. And stretch your legs out. Allow for a nice, easy, deep breath. And a nice, easy exhale. And make a comparison to see how does your body now feel in contact with the floor from the last time we checked. And notice if there's anything that has changed or feels new. Slowly bring your feet again to the mat. Settle your hips, lengthen your spine, settle your shoulders and neck. And once again, now bring your hands to your elbows, crossing your arms. And this time, bring your forearm to your forehead. And let your forearm rest on the forehead so that the elbows relax, your shoulders relax. And this time, keeping the hips and the knees still and quiet and stable. We're going to begin to turn the head to the left and allow your arm that is resting on your forehead to just gently be carried along towards the left. And then slowly begin to roll your head towards the center and then towards the right, and feel the arm again just gently being carried and rolled along to the right. So now gently at your own pace, steady and smooth and easy, let your head continue to turn left and right, carrying your arms along with you, and following what changes are occurring along the upper left arm and the right arm, and how are they different as your head is turning, and what changes are happening along your armpit, your shoulder blade, your upper back, your ribs. And let your breath be easy, comfortable. And then slowly bring your head back to the center. Lower your arms along to your body. Let them slide off the body to the floor. Settle the shoulders. Stretch your legs out. And once again, take a moment just to notice if there's any changes, what feels new and different. Take a deep breath. Gentle release. And now bring your feet back to the mat. Once again, cross your hands to your elbows and bring your forearm to your forehead. Settle elbows, shoulder blades. And now let your knees move to the left, and then turn your head gently to the right, carrying your arms towards the right. Hold here for a moment, comfortably, just to see what you notice with knees to the left. What do you feel in your back, your belly, your ribs, your arms and upper back? Slowly bring everything back to the center. Take a moment to settle. And now let your knees move to the right. And allow then your head to turn to the left, carrying the arms towards the left. Forearm still on your forehead. Hold here a moment and breathe. And just see what you notice between your ribs, your belly, your waist, your back, your arms. Slowly bring everything back to center. Settle. And now at your own pace, we're just going to let the upper body and lower body move in opposite directions, steady and smooth and easy. So as knees go left, head and arms go right. And then they synchronize and move in harmony back to the center, and then bypass each other as knees goes to the right, head to the left. And then see if you can coordinate the breath so that as the body moves to the side, knees and arms, you breathe in. Exhaling as everything moves back towards the center. And as you're breathing in, knees to one side, head and arms to the other. And again, the exhale as they move to the center. So now at your own pace, just gently continue with this motion, with your breathing. Always with the idea that it is smooth, comfortable, nourishing. And if at any time there's some discomfort in your back, then give yourself permission to do this movement just a little more soft, a little smaller. and a little more gentle. Just one more time. And then bring everything back to center. Slowly lower your arms along to your body, and then let the arms slide off your body onto the floor. Settle the shoulders. Settle your neck. Settle your lower back. And slowly stretch your legs out. And now just again, compare how does the body feel at this moment from when we last had it stretched out. Notice your breathing. Okay, slowly bring both feet to the mat. And if it's comfortable for you, just having your feet on the floor and your hips and your lower back settled into the floor, stay in this position. But if it feels like it would be also good to bring your knees to your chest, draw your knees to your chest and hug them there for a moment. And as you hug your knees, settle your shoulders and neck. And then gently allow for your body just to rock side to side. Just a gentle rolling. And then bring that still to center. And slowly bring one foot to the floor, then the other. And stretch your legs out. So now if you have time and you want to, and you're comfortable, and you want to just remain on the floor for a while and just experience anything that feels new and comfortable, feel free to do so. But if you need to get on with your day, I'm going to slowly and gradually begin to have us come up. So if you'd like to do that, bring both feet to the mat gently and smoothly. And then take your time and roll over onto your side to rest a moment. And as you're resting on your side, just let your body settle into the floor. And then as we begin to sit up, just find a way to slowly and gradually and incrementally make your way up. Without any hurry or rush. So thank you for being here today. And if you have time just to relax a little bit more, to integrate the session today, I invite you to do so. But thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.